This is The Space Shot, episode 334 for April 13th, 2018. Apollo 13, Part 2. I'm John Molnix. Earlier today, I recorded the latest episode of the Cosmosphere podcast, which should be out Monday. We had to rearrange schedules due to lining up interviews for this podcast episode. I think all of you will agree that it was definitely worth the wait. Now, it's time for the show. I'm still fighting some allergies, so I apologize if I sound pretty rough today. On April 11th, 1970, Apollo 13 launched on what was to be the third mission to land on the moon. In episode 332, we talked about the launch as well as oxygen tank number 2 and how it was damaged while being removed from the Apollo 10 command and service module. That tank's internal fill line remained damaged even after it was modified for future use, and that's where we pick up with Apollo 13. After concluding a TV transmission back to Earth, the crew of Apollo 13 had some housekeeping items to attend to.
Okay, I'm going to maneuver to 060, 090, and 0.
13, we'd like you to check C4 thruster.
Okay, Jack, the battery charge has been terminated on the battery B.
Roger, we see it, Jack. And we got a reading of minus 2 degrees in the docking index. We'd like to know if that's O precise or if it's 2.1 or 1.9.
It's a minus 2.0 precisely.
Thank you.
Capcom Jack Lausma relayed instructions from Houston to Command Module Pilot Jack Swigert.
13, we've got one more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like it to stir up your cryo tanks. In addition, I have a shaft and trunnion
Okay.
for a look at the Comet Bennett if you need it.
Stand by. Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
And say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem. Main B bus undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Stand by, 13, we're looking at it.
Okay, right now, Houston, the voltage is looking good. We had a pretty large bang associated with the caution and warning there. And as I recall, main B was the one that had a amp spike on it once before.
Roger, Fred.
The interim here, we're starting to go ahead and button up the tunnel again.
Houston, we've had a problem. Not exactly the words you've heard in the movie starring Tom Hanks, but they accurately capture the situation that was at hand. At 55 hours, 53 minutes into the flight, Command Module Pilot Jack Swigert stirred the cryo tanks, one of which was the defective tank number 2. In the seconds after this switch was flipped, the Teflon coating that insulated the wires on the system caught fire after being sparked by the very wires it was insulating. The resulting fire weakened the tank, and the pressure resulting from this conflagration caused tank number 2 to explode. This detonation damaged the other oxygen tank and other parts inside this section of the service module. With how the CSM was designed at this point in the Apollo program, there were no backup oxygen tanks, so losing both oxygen tanks was a catastrophic failure. In the tense moments after the explosion, the crew and ground controllers worked to grasp what had happened to the Command and Service Module, or CSM.
And Houston, we had a restart on our computer. We had a pink light and the restart reset.
Roger, restart. And restart on pink and reset.
And I'm looking at our service module RCS helium-1. We have B as barber pole and D as barber pole. Helium-2, D as barber pole. And secondary propellants, I have A and C barber pole. PMAG temperatures.
Okay, AC2 is showing zip. I'm trying to reconfigure on that, Jack.
Sure.
We got a main bus A undervolt now, too, showing.
Main A undervolt.
Getting about 25 and a half. Main B's reading zip right now.
Houston, Odyssey.
Gene Kranz remembered that, quote, each controller stared incredulously at his display and reported new pieces to add to the puzzle. It took extra seconds sorting out what was real and credible. It appeared we were losing our oxygen, and with it the fuel cells, the major source of power. When that happened, we would lose control of the main propulsion system. Nothing remotely like this had ever happened in simulation. As we watched the command module's life-sustaining resources disappearing, like blood draining from a body, the voices of the crew were unbelievably calm and restrained.
Okay, in Houston, we'd like you to open circuit fuel cell 1. Leave 2 and 3 as is.
Okay, I'll get to work on that.
And Jack, our O2 quantity number 2 tank is reading 0. Did you get that?
O2 quantity number 2 is 0.
That's AC, okay. Yeah, that's because of AC. And it looks to me, looking at the hatch, that we are venting something. We are venting something out into space.
Roger, we copy your venting.
To the gas of some sort.
Hey, fuel cell 1, you just wanted off the line now, Jack, is that right?
We just wanted you to open
Just open
circuit fuel
circuit it,
cell
right?
1.
She's off the line.
Well, Control Houston, this rapid exchange of conversation you've heard, the main B bus is off the line. Fuel cells 1 and 3 also off the line. Fuel cell 2 is presently on the line. We now show 13 at an altitude of 178,643 nautical miles. 56 hours, 12 minutes into the flight.
You never want to lose a source of fuel that provides electricity, air, and water, 3 of the key consumables that are vital to human survival in the vacuum of space. Let's listen to their voices a little bit more here, because it's remarkable how collected Lovell, Hayes, and Swigert were during this time.
Dane Houston, we see you getting close to gimbal lock there. We'd like you to bring up all quad C's on main A, quad C1, C2, C3, C4 on main A, and also bring B3 and B4 up on main A. Dane Houston, you read?
Yeah, we got it.
Over.
Okay, can you tell us anything about the venting,
Okay.
where it's coming from, what window you see it at?
Coming out of window 1 right now, Jack. And could you give me the thrusters again?
Okay, the thrusters,
What buses?
we'd like, on main A, we'd like Charlie 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also Bravo 3 and 4 on main A.
Okay, got it.
Reference there is to the reaction control system thrusters. We're at 56 hours, 14 minutes now into the flight.
13, we need Omni Bravo.
Omni Bravo.
Okay, 13, this is Houston. We'd like you to go to your GNC checklist, the pink pages 1-5. Do power down until we get a delta of 10 amps, over.
All right. Roger.
Well, Control Houston, that last report from Lausma asked the 13 crew to reduce the electrical load on the spacecraft.
Area power down. Not in the pink pages, the 1-5.
Okay, we'd like you to go down that power down procedure until you get a delta of 10 amps, over.
Quote, with the oxygen stores depleted, the command module was unusable. The mission had to be aborted, and the crew transferred to the lunar module and powered down the command module. We'll be talking more about this mission over the coming days as the crew moved into the lunar module. I'll share a bit about the mid-course correction maneuvers that were performed with the descent engine on the lunar module that helped ensure Apollo 13 made it back safely to Earth. For the rest of today, listen into the ground controller loop from this mission. You'll get a little bit different perspective from the audio clips I've played throughout this episode, so it's worth listening to this clip. Before I go, there are 2 launches coming up on April 14th and 16th. Late in the evening on the 14th, a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket is launching an Air Force mission. On the evening of April 16th, SpaceX is launching the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS, for NASA. This satellite will help detect planets ranging in size from Jupiter-sized gas giants to smaller terrestrial worlds like Earth. We'll talk more about TESS in an upcoming episode. I'll be linking to both launches in the show notes, so be sure to check them out. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Coming up on an MCW, huh?
Yeah, 55, 50, 13. We've got one more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like it to stir up your cryo tank.
That MCNW already occurred, Ecom.
I missed it.
Or
Thank
look
you.
at the comment Bennett if you need it.
55, 52 it came on.
Thank you.
Ecom on Ecom 1, 2.
Okay, let's make sure we get the stir first, George. Can you hang on?
Yeah, no
He did read it up to them.
Yep.
You guys, look at your O2 quantities and see if you see a big change.
Go ahead. Are you going to ask the crew about that antenna configuration or not? They give it to us. They're in auto, narrow, and primary. Okay. Flight guide.
Go, guys.
We finally got our Delta H update. Do you want to just read it up to the crew or uplink it?
Let's see. Now, can we collapse dead bands and do all that good stuff if we uplink here?
Yeah. Why don't we just read it up to them?
Well, if they enter it through the disky, are they going to do it?
Stand by one.
Now, we haven't stabled out in that attitude yet, so I don't think we're going to have any problem. I don't think there's any problem. They haven't opened up dead bands yet. Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. The time to do it is now, guidance.
Flight guide.
Go, guides.
As long as he's in poo and don't reselect it, he can
ECS, Ecom.
uplink it or enter it in.
Go, Ecom. You getting your stir now on the O2?
Might be.
No, that's data.
Why don't you got
We've gone off the high gain.
crew checklist anyway on board, don't you?
Right.
Don't you got a page update? Well, why don't we read it up to them, and that'll serve both purposes.
All right.
Both have them entered, as well as why don't you tell them what page you want in the checklist.
Okay. Flight coming.
Go,
What's the matter with the data?
Heater current looks normal. Okay.
We got more than a problem.
Okay, listen, you guys. We've lost fuel cell 1 and 2 pressure.
We lost O2 tank 2 pressure. You can see, you want to look at it? And temperature.
Okay.
Stand by, they got a problem. See a hardware respect. Roger, main B undervolt. There, guys. For Ecom.
Negative flight.
O2 tank 2 pressure?
I believe the crew reported. We got a main B undervolt.
Okay, flight. We've got some instrumentation flights. Let me add them up.
Raj.
Okay, stand by 13. We're looking at it.
We may have had an instrumentation problem, flight.
Raj.
Okay, let's get our instrumentation lined up here, you guys. ECS, what do you got? Brownie, you copying us? Air to ground.
Yeah, voltage is
O2 tank 2.
looking good, Jeff.
Pressure. O2 tank 1 fluctuating.
Coming down on O2 tank.
And we had a pretty large bang associated with the caution and warning there. And as I recall, main B was the one that had a amp spike on it once before.
Okay.
Okay. Is that pressure coming down?
You want the wide beam width there?
It's come to 373. It hasn't moved.
Is that reflected anywhere?
Negative. No, it's
Negative.
not a signal gate.
Say again, Larry?
No signal gate. No common signal gate.
We're starting to go ahead and button up the tunnel again.
Si, we got to find out what the configuration is on the cryo tanks, on the heaters and fans.
Went the wrong.
We can determine that.
The sensor on see now in O2 quantity 2, it's was oscillating down around 20 to 60%. Now it's full scale high again.
Roger.
Okay, let's check our electrical now, you guys.
Hey, we've got some problems with fuel cell 1 into, if we believe the data we got.
Restart on our computer. We have fixed and
EPS Econ.
Yeah.
Okay, you reported an AC2 glitch?
I was running some calculation.
How about you, Steve?
Negative.
Okay, there's AC2 again.
There we go.
AC2.
ECS Econ, does that reflect your AC2?
Fuel cell 3 current's gone to zero.
By the way,
Main B is...
surge tanks, hold them in there.
Okay,
Okay. We need to put a fuel cell on bus B.
okay.
So we
Flight Econ?
of instrumentation problems. Go ahead.
That's Brian.
Hey, he's removed fuel cell 1.
He's flipping our fuel cells around, Flight.
Well, let's get some recommendation here, Si, if you got any better ideas.
Okay, EPS.
Fuel cell 1 is disconnected from A. We need to reconnect fuel cell 1 to A and 3 to B. See if we can reconnect them.
Okay. Flight Econ?
Go ahead.
He's got fuel cells 1 and 3 are offline. We've got main A volts. We have no main B volts. Have an attempt to reconnect the fuel cells. Fuel cell 1 to main A, fuel cell 3 to main B.
3 to B.
Okay,
Let's just try that.
1,
Back to main A, fuel
Number
cell
1.
3 back to main B.
main A, 3 to main B.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, now, do we have instrumentation problems?
Well, we lost it does appear we've lost AC bus 2 voltage. Main B is reading 4 volts, and that effectively takes AC2 away from us.
Okay.
He was showing those barber pole on board.
Yeah, and he reported barber poles on the
Raj.
on the fuel cells on board too.
RCS
Flight.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get our DC back.
Raj, go ahead, GNC.
Verify that the quad delta helium valves are open.
Now, are you seeing an attitude problem, or are you seeing some bilevels that are giving you problems?
No, it's some low pressures in the fuel oxidizer, which would be symptomatic of the helium valve closing and firing some jets.
Quad number 2, helium valve open.
Quad delta.
Quad
Larry, you don't believe that O2 tank 1 pressure, do you?
helium valve.
No. Surge tank's good.
Gotcha.
Manifold's good. ECS is good.
Delta helium valve is open. Any other problems in the RCS?
Okay, is that all we can come up with for him? We got any other recommendations?
Yeah, we wanted to get fuel cell 1 configured to main A, fuel cell 3 to main B. Did you pass that up?
Let's attempt that, Flight.
13 Houston, we'd like you to attempt to reconnect fuel cell 1 to main A and fuel cell 3 to main B. Verify that quad delta is open.
With the wide beam with flight at 5504, the best we can do.
Okay, Houston, I'm showing, I tried to reset and fuel cell 1 and 3 are both showing gray flags, but they're both showing zip on the flows.
I copy, Flight.
We copy.
Let me commiserate on that. What do you think about that, Dick?
That means they're connected to the bus?
He's got his grays, but we're showing 0.
And he's reading 0 on the currents on board.
So are we.
Right. Let's
You want
try
to reverse the
putting one-
configuration?
Yeah, putting 1
Okay,
to B
gotcha.
and 3
3 to A.
Roger. Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
Let's reverse a configuration request.
Okay, but wait a minute. We got a good main A bus. Let's make sure that whatever we do doesn't screw up main A.
Fuel
main
cell
A
2 is on main A flight.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask to change that.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Let's try to put fuel cell 1 on main B, fuel cell 3 on main A. We'll use the other sensing circuitry.
Fuel cell number 1 on main B.
Fuel cell 3 on main A. We're not going to touch fuel cell 2 flight.
Okay, but if we got any problems in the system, I want to make sure that we don't blow the voltage off main A, and then we're not going to be able to see anything.
We're drawing a...
Can we review our status here, Si, and see what we've got from a standpoint of status? What do you think we got in the spacecraft that's good?
Main bus A is reading 25 volts.
Okay, main A.
And that's reflected by the fact fuel cell 2 is putting out 53 amps, which is just about the most it can, and keep our voltage up.
Okay.
So that's bona fide. AC bus 2 is 0, which is reflected by the fact we lost main B.
AC, bus.
Econ, this is EPS.
Standby flight. Go EPS.
Let's throw a battery on bus B and bus A.
Okay.
Until we sack it out.
Okay.
We're getting under volts.
Flight Econ.
GNC, guys.
Go ahead, Econ.
Okay. If we want to keep... Let's
GNC, guys.
stand by. He's changed configuration. He's got battery A on main A. He's got battery A on main A now.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's what I was going to ask you to put a battery on flight.
Flight Inco.
Go, Inco.
We need Omni Bravo. Our high gain won't drive without AC2.
Okay, you want Omni Bravo?
Right.
EPS, Econ.
Yeah.
Why don't we just try fuel cell 1 on main B by itself to see if that takes?
Well, we're showing low N2 pressure on fuel cell 1. We're showing low O2 pressure on fuel cell 3. I want to suck out what those fuel cells are doing here. We might have a pressure problem in the fuel cell, it looks like.
Charlie now.
Yeah, see
Two
the
fuel cells
engine.
simultaneously.
That can't be.
I can't believe that right off the bat. But they're not feeding currents.
Yeah, if you believe that N2 pressure, we blew a sphere.
Okay, Flight, we got Omni Charlie and high bit rate.
Yeah, we might have lost fuel cell 1. And it looks like fuel cell 3 is gone too. According to that O2.
Say again, babe?
We're reading 15 PSI on fuel cell 3 O2.
Yeah, you want to get an onboard readout, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. You want fuel cell 1 and N2?
N2 and fuel cell 3 O2 pressure.
Those are the only two that are bad. Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
Okay, let's get a readout on a couple fuel cell pressures here.
Okay.
Fuel cell 1 N2 pressure. Fuel cell 3 O2 pressure. We're reading 0 N2 pressure in fuel cell 1 and 13 PSI on fuel cell 3 O2 pressure.
Okay, you want fuel cell 1,
N2 pressure.
N2 pressure. Fuel cell 3, what do you want there?
O2 pressure.
O2 pressure. Capcom, let's get those as a start.
13 Houston. Flight guidance.
Go, guidance.
When this hardware restart, he was doing a crew defined maneuver, and that should have killed it, but still moving.
Are we using
Go ahead.
I think we ought to disconnect fuel cell 3 from bus B. It's not doing a bit of good. And fuel cell 1 from A. Let's disconnect them and take those pressure readouts again. If he's reading the same we are.
GNC flight.
Oh, you want to get it off?
GNC
And see if we can bring those pressures back up. If we remove the load.
Quad D helium. That looks like that's cleared up. Roger, that's cleared up. Flight, we're good. Okay, now are we using RCS now? We're going to have to switch.
Now, wait a minute.
I'd see the temp's not coming down. The TCU's hanging in there.
Yeah, the fuel cell 3.
We're showing the radiator heat rejection is staying.
Stand by.
1A. Said
Give me a minimum fuel usage configuration that'll keep me out of duty.
I tell you.
Go tell me.
The LEM heater currents become essentially static.
EPS Econ.
Roger.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Later on.
This is...
And Baker, which is 3 oxygen, says 0.6.
2 Baker says 0.6, and say again the other one.
Fuel cell 1, nitrogen, reads 0.
Roger, 0.
We confirm that, right, Dick?
Right. That's what we're reading.
Okay.
I didn't get his 302 readout, but we're reading 8.6 now.
He said, didn't he say 2 Baker? It was 0.6?
Fuck, I need that RCS stuff as soon as you can. Okay. Okay, Si.
Let's remove the load from the fuel cell and see if it'll recover.
You want to take make sure that fuel cell 3 and fuel
take it
cell
off
1
the
are
bus.
disconnected, huh?
Take fuel cell 3 off the bus.
Okay. Fuel cell 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Econ, flight.
Flight Econ?
Go ahead.
Why don't we try leave fuel cell 2 alone and just make sure that 1 and 3 are disconnected from both buses, and make sure that there's won't be any load on them at all. And let's see what happens to those cells.
See if we can get that O2 pressure up on fuel cell 3.
What do you want to do? Open circuit fuel cell 1 and 3?
That's firm flight.
Okay. Capcom, let's recommend we open circuit fuel cell number 1 and number 3 and leave fuel cell number 2 as is.
And take
Okay, 1 and 3 open circuit 2 as is, and earlier got a report from them that 1 and 3 were reading gray but 0 flow.
Yeah, Capcom, let's amend that. Econ from flight.
Flight Econ.
Why don't we just open circuit 1 and make sure that we don't have any problems getting that back onto the bus? Let's
Okay,
just
fine.
watch it for a while before we make any further moves with 3.
Roger.
Okay, Capcom, let's just open circuit 1 of those right now.
13 Houston, we'd like you to open circuit fuel cell 1. Leave 2 and 3 as is.
Okay, I'll get to work on that.
Flight
And Jack, our O2 quantity number 2 tankers, we can feel to look at that.
We confirm that.
That's Roger Flight. That's the AC problem.
Okay.
Roger.
Yeah, that's good for the AC. And it looks to me, looking out the hatch, that we are bending something.
Crew thinks they're bending.
I heard that flight.
Something out into space.
Fighter Econ.
Copy your bending.
Go ahead,
Let me
Econ.
know when that shows up.
Roger that. Well, we've already seen some of it.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
We've got a funny
Okay,
here.
everybody
N2 pressure is reading 0 on fuel cell 1.
You got anything that looks abnormal in your
Fuel cell 1, O2
Is all right.
is 54. No, it's 10 psi below H2.
See anything that, with the instrumentation you got that could be venting?
Okay, fuel cell 1, you just wanted off the line now, Jack, is that right?
We just want
That's
you
firm
to
flight.
open circuit fuel cell 1.
Okay, she's off the line.
Let me look at the system flight as far as the venting is concerned.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, fuel cell 3, the one, we look like we've got good N2 pressure.
Ecom.
Flight, say again.
Have you called in your backup ecoms now? See if we can get some more brain power in this
We
thing?
got one here.
Roger.